Green, it is the color of life, the color of freshness, the color of vitality. And for us Nigerians, green is far more than a shade, it is a symbol. From the lush farmlands of the north to the rolling hills of the east, from the coastal beauty of the south to the bustling energy of Lagos, green represents growth, abundance, and our nation's everlasting spirit. Now today, Chef Fregz takes that very color from our national flag and transforms it into something delicious. With a humble vegetable, the broccoli, he creates a dish that is both simple and sophisticated: broccoli stir fry. Now, this isn't just about food on a plate, it's about rethinking how we eat. Healthy, fresh, and full of flavor, this dish reminds us that Nigerian cooking can be bold, vibrant, and modern while still honoring tradition. Each chop, each stir, each sizzle in the pan is a celebration of life, creativity, and wellness. So prepare your senses, watch the greens dance in the pan, hear the crackle of freshness, and breathe in the aroma that says, "This is Nigeria, cooking with pride, cooking with passion." Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chef Fregz, and today we are cooking Nigeria in green and his irresistible broccoli stir fry. And today he is giving the audience a challenge. You pick the ingredients, I'll make the magic.
Only one person, nobody else likes broccoli. Okay, you really like broccoli. Please, the stem is in this way, so it's broccoli, okay? It's very, very useful. If I knew, let me show you what I do. So with broccoli at the stem, you want to cut off the bottom itself. Cut off the top. Again, you can't be really good to it if you want to be like a rich chef and maximize your ingredients. Keep it in a freezer bag with your carrot peels, your onion peels, and save it for when you want to make chicken stock. So your bones of the chicken stock, the bones of the meat. Put them all together, it comes with, correct? So with your broccoli stems, you just want to slice it as thinly as possible. If you don't have a sharp knife, you can use a manually. If you are afraid of the manually, which I have as well, you can use a grater. What about my coleslaw? Coleslaw ahead with salad. I'm going to just grab this bowl and just let it, grate it inside, or you can use it inside. So this, I'm not talking about from, I don't know if it's very common. When you break it down, you can add a different flavors to the whole stuff, for example. So already, you try something in your kitchen, just like using a pasta. So when you turn it up like this, you can add fried rice. Alright, and just add to that, find the fried rice tasting different. Broccoli, steak, and everything. You are going to just take it up. Slice it now. Don't worry if you can't slice it like go out your way. I can give you a beautiful julienne sticks like this or quality to smaller cakes as well. So I'm not very careful. So now, with the broccoli florets, normally people just boil the broccoli, salted water, some bright green, and they'll put it in a sauce and they'll cook it for forever. I want to show you my most favorite way of cooking broccoli. Now, this dish is big mystery ingredients for me. So you have plain, you have mystery ingredients, and you don't know exactly what to do. My recommendation throughout this food, how would I cook all of them individually to be most delicious? Alright? If I make everything individually delicious, then it can come together to be all delicious together. So my favorite way to cook broccoli is to roast it. So in a plate here, I will have my broccoli, and I call it big. So in front of me, I just have the broccoli. I'm going to put some oil over it. Whatever oil we have, I would recommend palm oil or sesame oil. I mean, you can use sesame oil, but sesame oil is like I see a lot of people cook with sesame oil, like they don't see oil. It's not. It's a seasoning oil. You use it after the fact. So just a little bit. Can I get some? So I have some white pepper here. Just a little bit. You can use a freshly cracked black pepper towards the end. But I have to powder one, so that's what we have now. So I'm going to go with blood chicken because I find, I know the brand was in the blood chicken series, but even after the brand was I have it perfect. So I'm going to put this, just crumble a little bit. I'm not going to use some more cube. As such, just put that down. Where's my vinegar actually? Waiting sauce. Alright, don't worry, the sauce. So I'm going to clean this up and I'm going to prep the next item. I like to add vinegar to the broccoli. It just adds a bit of like contrast to say. Thank you very much. So we picked the filet of beef. How many of us like when you go to the restaurant, how many order you say, well done, beef? But you're all looking at like well done there. My wife says that she likes her steak. So well done that you can tell you congratulations. Okay, we're going to get this beef fillet out. So I'm feeling. Oh, let me see the part of beef. But this filet of beef is only one filet per cow. So whenever you say filet of beef, it literally comes from one cow, only this part. It's called the beef tenderloin as well. And French terms, this is the, I've never heard of the word filet mignon before. It's just fancy word for this part of the beef. Alright, once it gets to the tail of the beef, this is the filet mignon, it's the softest part of the fillet. So this part I'm about to cut off. I'll divide it up for you and explain. So this is the filet mignon, this is the filet, and who can tell me what this is? The chateau bouillon. So this is the head of the fillet. It's soft, but it's not as soft as the other parts of the beef. So again, I'm going to season it with some raw chicken, some black pepper, and I'll see what it tastes like. I'm tempted to slice it thin. Somebody has a question at the back, please. I'm tempted to slice this thin to use for a stir fry, but that's too easy because we kind of have some pasta. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe we'll do a stir fry, right? So let's get some of the filling going. So for this, I think I'm going to open it up a bit. I kind of cut it bit to grain so that it's a bit more tender.
Is it okay to ask my question?
Yeah. So go ahead and ask me a question. Just for the experience, no understand. People in the market. So I'm doing very thin slices of beef, cutting it into degree as much as I can. And I'm slicing it into the board so that I don't worry about slicing my own. So if you ever wonder why we made a stir fry, meat was very hard. Anything from Chinese stir fry, you need to be strong. They've not used the right cut of beef, or they've not treated the beef. So maybe you find this cut of meat expensive. They have to use a tougher cut of meat, top side, tofu, I don't know. But you have to prep it like baking soda or baking powder. You put it on it, you allow it to stay for a couple of hours, you rinse it off, and your beef should be tender. Or just cook it ahead, let it be very soft. So just a little room on that. The remaining flour, just water. We're going to get some garlic there. So it's kindly. So let me. And some of what is like, this meat will not be enough for us. So let me start some more. So we wanted to make this as real life and as spontaneous as possible. We didn't do anything beforehand, so this is as reality as we get. Any other question, please? No question is silly. Alright, so any question? Okay. I want to talk to you about cooking for your homes. How many of us, what things do you cook? Let me ask you. What do you do at home? Every day. Are you married to a man that likes fresh food?
I like Frez.
Okay, so when I got married, my wife grew up in where my father gets fresh food every day. So I grew up in one with 6 months in advance. So she said, you cannot eat freezer food. I said, but 24 hours life is meant to keep your food at the optimal freshness when you freeze or food. But we're putting it in place of service. And I also said, I don't know food tastes better when it matures. So she didn't understand the concept. How about that jollof rice didn't eat the place? So if that's the case, why do we still be eating this? It must be fresh. Fresh food is nice, but in no case now. I don't think for people that is expensive. So now I'm having to eat food that is like 70 years old. No. I'm just asking us to embrace the concept that sometimes fresh does not always mean this. You should use fresh ingredients to cook food, and you can make it in advance and store it properly. So again, I do again start because when people are saying that I've got for you fresh food every day. But so that you will not die, Lagos is not there. You're supposed to be going to the market every day. No, you don't do. So what was my advice? I don't like the stress of cooking every day. But what I'll tell you is I hacked something. And what did I hack? What I hacked was I used to prep some of the things in different stages. So I'll take from Thursday to Sunday, I'll prep tomatoes, I'll blend it, boil it down, I'll get peppers, blend it, boil it down. I will get meat, goat meat, chicken, boil it down, separate the stuff, and just have it in the freezer. I will get some food. Then depending on my food, whatever I want to make, I just put these things together and I will now make fresh food. So that's a big hack. So with my sons, for example, they can eat okra for real if you see anytime because I think something I call it soup base. Alright? I make it very concentrated, lots of raw chicken, pepper, palm oil, crayfish, stuff like this. When it is quite harsh. But because I'm going to add some egusi, I'm going to add some spinach. So if I want okra soup, it works. If I want egusi soup, it works. Just remove. Allow your pan or whatever recipe you are using to be very hot. I don't know if you can hear that sizzle. I want to put garlic on my broccoli, but what am I not putting it now? Who knows the answer? It's going to burn. And what garlic tastes really, really bad. Have some celery and rosemary. I have a pan that is heating up there. I'm going to go in with some pepper. So I'm going about three tablespoons of palm oil. I'm going to do a touch of veg oil as well. Just enough oil. So I am going to get some chilies that you picked just for the heat. Can you help me? Pepper, I think we make a lot of jokes about like how do you do if I can revive pepper. I think we need to just be mindful of the fact that pepper can overshadow flavor in food. So pepper is meant to give contrast, it's meant to give a little spice, but I don't think it should really be the main event. I know some of you are going to fight me. I don't have onions here for some odd reason, but I have some celery. We are going to put some celery in here. You know how when you go to a Chinese restaurant and you get like a stir fry? They're using like really high heat for their stir fry, right? So I was able to create that so that the meat cooks very quickly and it doesn't boil. So my recommendation to do is, I think induction is really good, is you do it in batches. Don't do it all at once. So when you are searing stuff at home or you're searing beef like this, don't be in a rush or chicken, don't be in a rush to move it around. When you put meat that's cold in a hot pan, drop the temperature. So you want the beef to get back up to very high temperature so that you have to seal the meat and create that brown layer, which is the flavor of the meat. So I'm not ignoring it, I'm just setting it aside for greatness. So I have some celery that I've been cutting here and some chili. That will go in this at the end. I have some red bell pepper. I'm just going to cut it into a big slice. When you're cooking at home, don't feel pressure to be like a chef, except you have plans to be more. Cook with a sense of joy, a sense of like control as well. But I'm just saying you take anything from this class, learn that you are building flavor correctly, and touch that for you to create that like restaurant quality taste. You need to allow your meat to like really brown properly and you don't be excited to play around. Have some fresh rosemary here. If you notice, I'm not adding garlic and salt. So we're going to allow that to come back to temperature. Alright, so moji. So moji, we're stir frying our meat. This one is almost done. But I'm going to add red bell pepper, chilies, and celery to this one now, okay? And we're going to add a little bit of rosemary and the oregano. I just slice it, okay? Alright. Alright. So, what you just asked, now why don't I start what's actually going to show you yeah, no, you need to sort of information. So now that we've added, I'm going to ask, after I go to my broccoli, it's just a better cooking technique. Boiling is boring, you get too much water into. So you can extract the water from this one and get a deeper flavor. So I'm going to add some garlic to this stir fry now. I'm going to layer. So when you're seasoning food, you need to not throw in your salt or you don't drink all your seasoning all at once. You do it in stages, okay? Very, very key. I have some smoked fish here. I'm going to take it down. Now they cut off all power. So sorry to do cooking. Sorry, but sorry. Okay. Alright, so we have our stir fry base here. We have our sliced beef, we have garlic, roasted ground beef, some smoked fish, cumin oregano, which is locally grown oregano from our garden, and we have our red bell pepper, we have our chili, all here. So right now, just as this is, I would recommend you put like some green, some spinach. You can use this in white rice, for example. And I thought this was difficult to me. So with this, for example, we're just go with that. It doesn't even need to be a sauce. So if you are a snacks person, a low vibration way to make this appear even more glamorous. Just add some water, get some hot flour. This just a season or two and allow it boil. What is this? What is like Chinese? And like that, you are a boss. If you are a food business owner, you can try to do a lot of money to do this. But it's so easy to make. Alright?
And then the transformation, a stir fry alive with color, aroma, and anticipation. With every stir, Chef Fregz shows why cooking is not just an art, but also pure theater. The result, a delicious stir fry, bold, creative, and 100% Nigerian at heart. Today, Chef Fregz reminds us that food isn't just about what's on a plate, it's about connection and surprises. And there you have it, a dish as vibrant as our nation, as fresh as our dreams, and as bold as our spirit. Chef Fregz has shown us that even the simplest ingredients can carry the pride of a people and the promise of a healthier tomorrow. So whether on the streets of Lagos, in the kitchens of Abuja, or right here in your home, let this broccoli stir fry remind you Nigeria is always green, always alive, and always ready to create something extraordinary. Until next time, keep cooking, keep creating, and keep celebrating the colors of Nigeria, one plate at a time.